When we more closely inspect the Jewish context of nascent Christianity, we discover that in fact we are dealing here with more than one context. The main transition here was conditioned by the Jesus movement leaving the limits of the land of Israel and reaching out to the cities of Jewish Hellenistic diaspora in Asia Minor, Greece and Rome itself. Closer to the end of the course, we will discuss this transition, which would eventually result in bringing non-Jews into the movement also. But even before this dramatic change in the ethnic configuration of this movement, the appeal to diaspora Jews would mean a substantial change in notions and emphasis. That change was needed. And this is in spite of the fact that there were also substantial overlaps between diaspora and land of Israel Jewry. Therefore, in our attempts to contextualize early Christian ideas within the late Second Temple Judaism, we should always be aware of the distinction between these two settings, the Hellenistic and that of the land of Israel. I am standing now close to the waterfront at Caesarea, a city on the Mediterranean shore, distinguished in those days by its mixed population, local Jews and those coming from the Hellenistic diaspora, and also many non-Jews, with Greek being the common language of them all. It is here that one could feel like being in the wider Greco-Roman world without even leaving the land of Israel. The further transition from a Hellenistic Jewish setting to mixed, predominantly Gentile environment will engender additional adjustments to be discussed as noted at the end of the course. In the late first and especially in the second century, we already have Christian compositions that clearly presuppose a non-Jewish audience, along with its particular cultural baggage, put into opposition to the Jews and their tradition. It is in the second century that there will appear other core points of reference, for example, Greek philosophy. However, the text we will be dealing with here, even if penned in the diaspora, still mostly converse with the Jewish metrics. We will see that even when these compositions address Gentiles, their strategy is to present the enlarging of the movement's scope as natural expansion, prophesied in the Jewish scripture, and with Jews retaining in that widespread redemption their core status. Or, as one of earliest authors of the Jesus movement put it, I quote, "the Jew first and also the Greek." Let me also note that adjustments to the status of the Gentiles joining the movement could be relatively smooth, as many of those Gentile fellow travelers had been already earlier attracted to Jewish religion, visited synagogues, and embraced certain Jewish customs. We will relate to it at length when discussing the book of Acts.